Chicago PD just introduced a villain more terrifying than any cartel boss, serial killer, or dirty cop we've seen in years. And the scariest part? Most viewers completely missed the real threat lurking underneath the surface. This week, Voight receives another envelope, another psychological strike, another piece of his childhood weaponized against him. But this time, it's worse. Inside is a photo of Voight as an injured little boy, and another of a man labeled, "Your father the abuser." Whoever is doing this isn't threatening Voight's badge. They're attacking the core trauma he's kept buried his entire life. Platt tracks the courier, and Voight interrogates him. The caller? White shirt, black pants, shiny shoes. Not a street guy, not a thug. This was someone who sits behind a desk. Voight demands the number, and the trail leads straight to Commander Devlin. Yes, the same man Voight blackmailed into reinstating intelligence. Now he's blackmailing Voight right back. But here's the twist. Devlin isn't even the scariest villain this episode gives us. The real horror lives inside the Bell house. Raymond Bell, father of the dead bank robber Gary, is back on Voight's radar after a bloody, terrified man bangs on a neighbor's door begging for help. His hands? Mutilated exactly like Gary's victims. Minutes later, the man turns up dead. A neighbor reports a silver sedan fleeing the scene, the same car Bell drives. And then the gardener appears, missing fingers, terrified eyes, claiming Bell is the worst of a bad batch. He tells Voight something chilling. There are ghosts in that house. People go in, and they don't come out. He even built Bell a wine cellar, but never saw a single bottle of actual wine. A cellar with no wine. Let that sit for a second. Then Bell's granddaughter, Julie, shows up in the hospital. Bell claims she fell from a tree. Voight doesn't buy a word. The team uncovers 12 more potential victims. 12 missing people connected to Bell's orbit. And yet, the lawyers still won't act. Not enough evidence. Not enough bodies. Not enough anything to move on a man who clearly terrifies everyone around him into silence. But the person who can't control herself is Imani. She's new, she's passionate, and she's drowning in this case emotionally. She pushes too far, questioning Julie at the hospital, asking about the ghosts in the basement. Julie says she saw a ghost. Aurelia, the missing nurse the gardener mentioned. A ghost. In the basement. The moment social services shuts Imani down, she gives Julie her number anyway. And when that text comes in vague, desperate, terrifying, Imani snaps. Voight tries to calm her, tries to stop her from blowing the case. But it's too late. When she receives a second call from Julie's phone, filled with strange sounds and no voice, Imani does exactly what Voight feared. She breaks into the Bell house. Alone. The screen cuts to black as she hears a loud, violent noise inside the house. To be continued. And that is the part viewers miss. Bell isn't scary because he's violent. Bell is scary because he's the kind of villain who doesn't need to threaten you. He makes your fear do all the work for him. A silent monster. A man who destroys you without raising his voice. A man who turns his own home into a graveyard and makes sure no one ever asks questions. And now Imani is inside that house. Alone.